Exactly. That's why it's disgusting. Hell, poop isn't disgusting to me anymore. Oh, yeah, look at her. She's like, ah, poop. Like, when you have children, ain't nothing disgusting anymore. You get a diaper, honestly, you pick up a diaper and your thumb slips and it touches the little mustard, like, bam, you touch it, you're like, you're not like, ooh, you're like, damn, like, have it again. You know what I mean? Can you pass the fries? You know? It's one of those things that you become okay with. And what I want you to understand, that when that girl said that, you travel around the world, you do this kind of stuff. Yes, I get to do that, but there's a lot of stuff that ain't that cool. I was telling these guys about it the other day. Every day when I go home, I have to play Bears. Now, Bears is not a game. It's not a board game. It's not something that everybody knows about. It's what my daughter at 3 years old made up. And it's called Bears. And she says, I'm Baby Bear. And you're Daddy Bear. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's obvious here, baby. You're Daddy Bear. You go in the cave. And I'm looking around. I'm like, there is no damn cave in my house. She's like, oh, yes, Daddy. Daddy Bear. Because she doesn't call me Daddy during it. She says, Daddy Bear, you have to go in a cave. And I said, Baby Bear. And I'm like, McKenna. She's like, I'm not McKenna. I'm Baby Bear. So I said, Baby Bear, where is the cave? Daddy Bear, it's behind the couch. So I have to go behind the couch and I have to crawl. Now I can't walk regular, but I have to get on my hands and knees and I have to growl while I'm doing it too. I'm Daddy Bear. And she says, you don't have enough claws, Daddy. You have to have a lot of claws if you're Daddy Bear. So I have to say, I got a lot of claws. And I have to say it, a lot of claws. And she's like, that's great, Daddy Bear. And then she says, go in the cave. And when I get in the cave, she says, Daddy Bear, you need to lay down. I'm going to get you a pillow. So she goes to get the pillow. She sits down. She says, you have to lay down. And I want you to snuggle with all my toys. So she brings all the toys, lines them up, and I have to lay on my side and snuggle with all these toys. So she's like, you're not snuggling right, Daddy Bear. And I was like, well, Baby Bear, how do I snuggle? It's like this. And she sits down, and then I have to wrap around her. And she's like, do you want a jellyfish? Like, okay, yeah, I want a jellyfish. How many do you want? 3. Okay, but you want 5. Okay, I want 5. Do you want yellow or purple? But she calls it Lello. She said Lello. Do you want Lello or purple? Purple. No. Purple's my favorite color, Daddy Bear. You want Lello. Well, why didn't your little ass tell me that you were going to tell me exactly what it is? So then she runs, and then she comes back with an empty hand, nothing in it, no jellyfish, and she walks up and she goes, Daddy, I got your jellyfish, and they're Lello. I got 3. Go ahead and eat them. And I said, oh, and it was good. She was like, you only ate 1. I want you to understand, all of us go through these different things, and we all stay human. And I tell you, if you are single right now, you don't have any children, maybe when you do have children, you'll understand, honestly, there ain't nothing cool about you anymore. Nothing at all. Because when you put something cool on, like Darylyn was talking about, oh, you need to accessorize with the shoes and all that stuff. You put on some shoes, and I put on, like, I bought these shoes, and I thought they were cool. And then my daughter looks at them, she's like, Daddy, boys don't wear green shoes. Oh, yes, they do. No, they don't. Mommy wears green shoes. How about when Daddy locks your little ass outside? You got to understand that just like I was talking about with Sarah, as successful as she is, as incredible as she is, incredible as Coley is, incredible as Chrissy is, as incredible as LaTanya is, they're normal, regular people. They go through the same stuff that you go through, but they choose every single day to take their career, their life to another level. Doesn't mean that they're perfect. It means that they fall. It means that they make all kinds of mistakes, but they pick themselves up and they keep a vision and they put themselves around people who will constantly push them towards their goals. Does that make sense? So when I put this one, and I want you guys to write down this, what is it? So success, what is that to you? Now, I've gone through a lot of different parts of it. A girl asked me, she said, I want to be successful like this. So what is success? She was like, oh, wow. You know, you travel around, you do all kind of cool things, you do all this stuff. You have salons. Oh, it must be on. And I was like, look, when we opened our second salon, I slept in a basement of my friend's house. That one time I came home and it was flooded. The other time the heater broke and I had to sleep with a space heater blowing in my face. And then I'd walk in Chicago weather in November to the bus stop, and then take the bus to work and then walk probably, a block to work. And I would beg people, please, will you let me do your hair? And then I said, if that is balling, then I'm P. Diddy. So it wasn't planes and all this stuff. It was going. It was sleeping on the floor. And the way that we got the guests within the salon when we went to Chicago, actually one of my guests the other day, her name is Deborah Turner, that comes in from San Diego. And Deborah, her daughter, I was asking her, I said, how did your daughter find out about the salon in the first place? Because her name is Jamie. Her daughter's name is Jamie, and she was saying Jamie missed us, but she came to Chicago. I said, how did she find out about the salon? She said, oh yeah, you went up to her in a bar. And I don't know, I didn't remember this situation like right off the bat because I couldn't remember her daughter, but right when she said it, I remember the exact time. So we're in the bar, and all of us we just got done with the day. We worked hard. We didn't have that many guests, but we worked hard. We were training, doing all the stuff there in Chicago. There was 4 girls sitting at a table, and the 4 girls were probably the best-looking girls in the place. And a lot of people they were talking about different ideas. They were like, oh, how are we going to promote? What are we going to promote? And I said, this is how you're going to promote. And they said, what are you talking about? And I said, watch this. So I stood up, and I walked over to the table, and I said, first of all, ladies, I wanted to say that I'm happily married, and my wife is really, really hot. And all of them looked at me like, where's he going with this? And I said, that being said, I'd like to do your hair. Because I don't want you coming over and thinking that I'm picking up on you. But I would love to be able to have the opportunity to do your hair. Here's my business card. Please come in. They sent a friend of theirs in to see if I was any good. They wouldn't come in themselves, but they sent a friend in. And then we got probably almost 10 guests from that one, from the one that came in that wasn't even in the 4. And now all the 4 are normal guests. Another way that we were able to promote is that a girl walked through with her friend, and they were young. They're probably 19 years old. They walked through. We offer them a golden ticket. A golden ticket is $100 for your cut, color, and a whole experience. So it's anything you want in the salon for $100. And the girl was like, oh, I'm going to think about it and go home. And I was standing up at the front, and I was like, wait a second. What are you going to think about? And she said, well, we just need to go home and think about it. I said, honestly, it's $100. What are you thinking about? And she said, well, and I said, okay, how about this? I don't want you to think anymore. You and your friend, how about we just do it 2 for 1? You guys will get everything you want, and both of you combined will pay $100. She looked at me and she was like, I don't need to think anymore. So she sat down and did both of their hair. We went up to the front. I didn't tell them my name the whole time when we were going through, and then I passed them my card and I gave them a menu with it. And both of them looked down at the menu, they looked down at the card, and they saw my name on it, and they saw where the prices were, and then they looked at it and they were like, wow, we just got that for $50. And I was saying to them, a lot of my guests said here, they were like, oh, wow, I would fly to Chicago to be able to get that because you charge me a lot more. But what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to be able to grab a hold of that guest? What are you willing to do to have one shot, just one shot? What is success to you? Is it an amount of days that you work? Is it spending more time with your family? Is it, whatever it is, you need to be able to identify this within your life. And nobody else can for you. Now, when I look at it, and I look at a Chrissy, and I told you about her story sucks for her. And when I say that, it's good, because I tell her story and how much she's gone through and how much she loves her daughter. And, it's like she hung the moon. She brings her in, and she's like, it's Elizabeth. And she's like, ta-da! You know what I mean? Like a light shines down on her, ah! And when I see her, and she absolutely loves her. And the thing that sucks is her story's got to be in line with the way and all the sacrifices that she did. And most likely what I see is something that's very important in her life is making sure that her daughter has the better life and has a different path, and doesn't have to go through all the stuff that you had to go through. But we all have different sides of success. Mindy and I were talking about it yesterday, and she was like, at the end of the day, we were talking, and she's like, I'm inspired, all this stuff. And she's like, but the one thing that I realized is I do not miss standing on my feet this long throughout the day on concrete, right? And we went through. So it's one of those things of identifying what that success means to you. Where it's going to, what it really actually means. Where I had one lady tell me that she wanted to work 7 days a week. And I was like, that's not successful to me. I don't even want to hang out with you. Right? And we need to be able to identify that. The next thing that we want to go on to, why do you want it? I've talked about this in the past with some of the people, and one time I remember when I was talking with Chantel about it, I'll use you as an example, and we were talking about it. And it wasn't like early on, when Chantel first came on, all she wanted to do, she told me, she said one of her goals was to meet Hugh Hefner. She said, I want to meet Hugh Hefner. I was like, You just moved here, you're 20 years old, you just moved to Vegas. Most likely your dad's not going to be cool if I'm the guy that helps you to meet Hugh Hefner. Does that make sense? And she said, and you said it, I was at the Four Seasons, and we were walking past. Don't try and get out of it, because Fran, were you there? You were there. And we were walking through, and Chantel was like, no, and her eyes, you guys, I told you about the eyes, you know what I'm talking about? When you see Bratz dolls at Walmart, you know what I'm talking about? They were made, somebody saw Chantel at Walmart shopping for clothes. I'm just joking. They saw her, and they were like, wow, I got an idea for a doll. No, you didn't. You just took Chantel's face and just shrunk it down, kept the eyes the same, and then you were able to do it. But when I said it the first time, she was like, oh no, I just said that it would be nice to meet him. Fran, am I lying on that? She was like, one of my ultimate goals in life is to meet Hugh Hefner. And we all thought, we stopped. We were like, ultimate goal. We were thinking, she's going to say something inspiring. And she was like, meet Hugh Hefner. And all of us were like, really?
That was 2 years ago.
I'm glad you admit it now. That's the first time she's ever admitted it. But when she came on, all she wanted to do was meet Holly Madison. She loved Holly Madison. She wanted to meet her. All she wanted to do was touch celebrity. I want to be around celebrity. I want to do all this. I want to do all that. And I said, just hold it for a second. The reason why is because the reason why you want to meet them right now isn't in line with where you want to go as a hairdresser. Because had she met them at that time, it would have been all about, oh, I'm from New Mexico. I lived in Colorado, and the sparkle and glitz and glam of all these celebrities. And the reason why she wanted it, she had no idea. She just knew that they were celebrities. Oh, they were cool. And now she understands why she wants to work on celebrities, because celebrities have power and they have marketing power. You take one of them, and it's not about the actual celebrity. It's about what that celebrity can do and be able to promote you. And she understands that now. But early on in our career, a lot of times we just think, oh, wow, I want to be successful. Why? Because that person has a cool life. Well, you don't know that person's life. You don't know what they went through to get there. You have no idea what they deal with on a day-to-day basis. So know why you want that success. And ask yourself that. What I would suggest is our team too is write this down and have it with you. Why you want what you want. Why you actually came here. When Chantel first came here, she didn't come here for like, oh, I want to change the industry and stuff like that. She was like, those people are cool. I think they're kind of fun. And it would be so much fun to go to Vegas. There's a lot of lights and it would be, oh man, I can't wait. And then she got here. And it wasn't that. And it wasn't the glitz and glam. It was a lot of internal searching. It was a lot of building from the inside out. It wasn't from the outside. And being able to see her now she's ready. Now we can send her on a photo shoot and a video shoot to LA and do an HBO documentary. And when she comes back, you know what she's talking about? She's talking about the relationships that she built with the people, as opposed to, wow, I saw this person. Can't believe it. Because there's a real reason behind it. You got to check your reason that you want success. Because I tell you, it's a scary thing. It's a very, very scary thing. A lot of money in the wrong hands, a lot of success in the wrong hands could be a very, very bad thing. Charlie Sheen. He's winning. Yes, that's what the comment was. But when you look at it, why? Why do they want it? What are they trying to accomplish? What do you want to accomplish with your success? Like Roxy said earlier, you don't focus on a wallet with legs walking through the door. You focus on the person, and that person will provide you with every single thing that you need. If you focus on the end result of it, you have the tendency to have a little bit more challenge. Third one, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice to get to the point that you want to get to? Some people tell me, oh, I want success and I want this and that, but they're not willing to step out and take the sacrifices. I was telling some of my team, and I get after them sometimes. And it's not all sunshine and, we're having such a good time all the time. Is it, Sarah? It's not, right? It's not. It's not always that way. What are you willing to sacrifice? I told all my kids, we've got a salon in Chicago. We're opening one in San Diego. You know what? Every single week, every single one of these kids in this environment has the ability to be able to fly to Chicago, do their same job in Chicago, and then come back. And what I said to them, I said, you have no excuse. The reason why is because I got 2 kids. I know that not another person in our company has 2 kids. I have 2 kids, and I'm there every single 4 weeks. Some people say, oh, that's because your name's on the door. No, my name's on the door because I do it every 4 weeks. And when I look at these guys and I say to them, it's not that I'm saying, oh, I'm browbeating them and telling them that, but I'm saying, what are you willing to sacrifice? If you say you want it, what are you willing to sacrifice to be able to get it? You know, I don't get to spend every single night with my daughter. Sometimes